Hey, James, yesterday Sean was talking about just the communication pre-snap and just some of the stuff you like and the difference from Breeze. What is some of the information you like to hear just out there from him when he's talking to you through the headset?
Really anything. That's something that we go through every day because every time he says something, like I'm listening. So sometimes when he's communicating to me and he might be joking around, I'm like, don't joke around because I'm taking it to heart. Everything that you say, I'm listening. So we just create a balance of how we communicate, and obviously the biggest thing is just the tempo on offense. We're trying to get the tempo going, and he's speaking to me in a certain way in terms of things I can communicate in the huddle to certain guys of whether it's a motivational thing or something that he just wants to give me a kind of like a little cue to something that may be coming.
Is there a line there where maybe it's too much information or not? Because he said that's kind of the thing that he's dealing with, is making sure he's not giving you too much, but he's giving you enough. Is there a point where it becomes too much information?
I'm receiving anything that Sean Payton says to me, and I'm taking it to heart. I don't take it for granted at all.
Luke Johnson.
Hey, Jameis, kind of a two-parter here. First, what was your kind of process when you went through that the reads on the big 55-yard touchdown pass, and then kind of as a follow-up to that, when you're able to connect on those things, what does that kind of open up for y'all offensively in terms of like space and things like that?
I think the first thing I was in the huddle, I told the guys yes, just because Sean called it. He's about to change it, but then he called it again, so I said yes. Deontay knew I was about to throw to him, and we hit on it. So anytime things like that, when you're having a good game, when you're playing great complementary football, everybody's doing well. Defense is holding one of the best offenses in this league to 1 for 10 on third downs. Offensive line is blocking their tails off, dominating the line of scrimmage. You got young guys stepping up in adverse situations. You just have that. You have one of those days, man, and it just makes everything fall into place when you connect on a big ball like that.
Sean Paytons.
Hey, James, quick matchup question for you. What jumps out about Carolina's defense on tape?
I think the biggest thing is the edge rushers. I think they got some good people, put some great pressure on the edge. The good thing is we have 2 all-pro tackles, so that's a blessing that we have with us. Another thing is their simplicity, and anytime that you find a defense that's pretty simple, you know that they're going to execute really well. I think they got great length, and I think they got 2 really good corners. So I think they got a complete defense that is playing a very simple bend but don't break scheme. So you know they're going to be in the right place. So it's going to definitely be an execution game.
Mike Triplett.
James, I know from your answers last night that you weren't trying to make this first start about yourself and you're looking forward with the team and everything, but did you get to enjoy maybe some messages of encouragement from people, a lot of people reaching out that were happy for you after the game?
Oh, absolutely. I was grateful for all the messages that I received. But I've been here before. I think my rookie year I had 5 touchdowns, and that was a beautiful thing. But I probably never been a part of a complete football game, dominated game like that probably since college. I mean, that was a beautiful on both ends of defense, of special teams, on offense. And again, like my biggest things was like, man, you got Calvin Throckmorton like stepping up, like, man, in the first series, right? You got Adebo on the defensive side stepping up, for a corner that we just gave $100 million to, one of the best corners in the league, and he didn't blink, man. He stepped up facing Devontae Adams, and it was just good, man. It was good how, man, Desmond Trufant been here for probably a day and a half, gets thrown out there and goes out there and execute, man. So a lot of good things happen. Obviously, I'm happy. The main thing was the win. Anytime you start off the season with a win versus a great opponent, you're always in a good mood.
Luke Johnson.
Hey, James, just getting back to the deep ball for a second. What all goes into that? I mean, when you're thinking about it, it's just like, okay, you're just throwing the ball downfield, but like you've got to have consideration for who you're throwing to, right? And wanting to put the right trajectory on the ball for certain routes. What all goes into that?
The first thing is play call. The first thing is the play call, right? The second thing is the coverage. Third thing is the protection, right? These receivers in these leagues, that's one thing they do. They go and get balls. Our job is just to put it out there, put it in a good place for them to go get it. And that's what 11 did. And he's been doing it all training camp. Y'all seen that all training camp. I told you guys that, eventually we were going to connect. So you've seen it, and we got a chance to do it for a big one.
Shyler Dixon.
Jameis, with the COVID outbreak on the coaching staff, what was practice like today with kind of a scaled back staff, and what's it been like in the meetings, having to adjust to that, and also even eating?
I think it fell right into how we've been adjusting down here in Dallas, man. We've been facing adverse situations since we got here. With Hurricane Ida and us moving to Dallas, relocate. One thing I admire about our head coach, he doesn't blink an eye. He really embraces these situations. He voices to us how we should embrace it, and we just team up with him and we roll with him. We're doing a great job in our training room with getting guys masked up and keeping everyone protected, and we just got to continue to execute. I think our coaches, they can do a good job working from afar. The coach's job is to coach, player's job is to play. So we have to continue to bring that same energy regardless if coach is out there or not. We still got to bring it.
Appreciate it.
Got time for a couple more. Amy Just.
Yeah, that was basically my question. Just what was the meeting like today, the early meetings like today? Sean said that, pretty much all the offensive guys were in the same room, not, clustered in position groups like they normally are.
Man, Amy, we got a chance to experience one of the best offensive mind head coaches ever in the game, one-on-one, like a staff meeting, running the tape. I mean, we get a chance to hear how he wants it done. Right, and that's something I always wanted. I knew that 15 years Drew had he knew Sean like the back of his hand, right? But that's my experience. I've never been in that room of watching tape with Sean, of going through situations with Sean and him voicing how he would like something done. So man, it's a blessing in disguise. And I promise you, if you ask anybody else, Amy, listen, everybody in that room, we really enjoy that. Right, because you have so many voices from different coaches and different agendas that a coach might want to get done throughout the day. But when you got the main guy, the guy who really runs the show, our primary leader, running the show and voicing to you what he wants, how he wants it, why he wants it, man, that's what you live football for. I dreamed of that moment happening, and for it to happen in front of the entire team, I think we all gained something from that. So I see it's a blessing in disguise. I wish he could do that. I do care about the health of our coaches, and I want them to get back. But if they want to just let him run the meetings for us, I really enjoy it.
Sean Paytons.
Jameis, there was a throwaway you had in the first half of week one where you had a lot of time to kind of scan the field, and you ended up just throwing it away. You've been complimented for that decision. What did you see on that play, and would you have made that decision maybe in years past?
Yeah, hopefully I would have, but you never know. But no, I'm happy that I had the opportunity to display some of that decision making. I actually had that same play in practice that I threw to the sideline. I ended up throwing an interception on it. So as soon as I had it, boom, ding, 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 I threw it out of bounds and moved on to the next play, and Sean called a great one.
Luke Johnson.
Hey, Jameis, I'm just curious how much time you've actually had to work with Caesar as a center before Sunday, and what you thought about him just kind of stepping in after he didn't get a lot of work there in training camp.
During training camp, I probably had 3 snaps with Caesar live, but I think last year, me and Caesar worked so much at the center position because it was Eric and Clapp taking those reps, and I was just working with Caesar during those times when he did play center. So I think that really helps. So we have a good rapport. I know how he likes to communicate. He knows how I like to communicate. So it kind of worked out in our favor that we had a lot of reps last year, and we were just able to pick up from that, man. But we're gonna miss Eric, man. Like his command and the way that he did things up front was phenomenal. But I know the way that he loves football, he's going to be in Caesar's ear, and Caesar's going to do an excellent job for us at that position.
I think that's it. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. I miss y'all too.